Mood management. Okay, let's be clear as to what I'm talking about when I say mood management. I mean, do you know somebody whose mood controls their day? Like this. Somebody walks in, oh, sad face, bad day in practice. You know that kid? How about this kid? They had an okay day at school, so I have an okay day at practice. And of course, the happy, hey, the good day. I have a good day at practice. Do you know somebody like this? I'm not accusing you of being this person, but it could be. Do you know somebody that comes in sad and has a bad day every day? Comes in and has an okay day. Like, you know what kind of day they're going to have when they walk in. You already know. You already know exactly how they're going to do in practice or in the game. They're going to get better. They're going to do well. They're not going to stick out, or they're going to suck. Just based on what their face looks like when they walk in the door. Well, let me tell you, there are about 100 million humans just like that kid. And you need to learn to manage your moods so that you can be amazing. Okay, so let me ask you a question here. Would you rather be sad or good? Just think about it for a second. Would you rather be sad or good? Okay. Would you rather be mad or good? Think about it. Coming up with an answer in your head. Would you rather be intimidated or good? Now, I know you're thinking, those are stupid questions. Who would choose any of these three things, sad, mad, or intimidated, over being good? Well, the answer is you. Because you're human. Again, not because you're lame. Human beings have trouble with this. Let's talk about sad. Let's say you had a bad day at school. And so you walk in and you're just wallowing in the misery of the day. I don't know what happened that was so bad, but this happens to everyone. And to some people, bad days happen a lot. I think you know who I'm talking about. You know these people. I hope you're not them. But you know these people. They just walk around in drama all the time. And so they would rather be sad than good in the now. So in other words, right now they're sad and I'm being sad, and if everybody would just come and hang out with me and help me with the sadness, I'll probably be okay eventually. Okay, so you need help to get out of the sad. That's fine, but it would be better if you could deal with it on your own. And by the way, usually when people get help with being sad, they like the help a lot. And they don't necessarily get rid of the sad. Sometimes they keep it because they get all this attention. How about this one? How about mad? How about mad? Well, I'm mad right now. And so I'm just going to hit it really hard and pass wherever I feel like it and do stupid things because I'm mad. Again, in the now. Right now, we get really attached to our emotions. And it is hard in the now to choose good over whatever I'm feeling, especially if it's extra bad. Well, I'm extra mad because that jerk shouldn't have the starting spot. I should. See, I'm better. So I'm going to suck for a little bit just to show the coach, you see, maybe he should have the starting spot because I suck. Oh my gosh. If you have ever seen this person, or if you've ever been this person, you know that this is not a good strategy. How about intimidated or good? Well, that's a stupid question. Like, who would want to be intimidated? Now, it's not that you want to be. It's that you chose to be. Would you rather be intimidated or good? I've been intimidated before. I've wasted games just being sure that the other team was going to win before they actually proved it. I should have made the choice to be good. Have you ever been intimidated? That's not a good choice. No matter how good or bad the other team on the other side of the net is, it has nothing to do with your effort, your level of effort to get better. So let's take these things and let's run it through a chart. All right, here we go. Worse, nothing happens, or better. So on a particular day, somebody walks in sad, you got to get worse, don't you think? Well, let me make that dot a little bigger. How about a day where they walk in, well, I mean, just doing reps, you might get a little better, but not noticeably. And then how about a happy day? Hey, good day, better, yeah, all right. Well, let's say a third of the days in your life are sad, and a third of them are okay, and a third of them are great, and third of them are sad, and a third of them are okay, and a third of them are great. And you're like, wait, I'm not a sad person. Okay, let's say you split your days in half. Let's say half the days of your life are okay, and half are great. Half are okay, and half are great. Half are okay, half are great. And you had 3 weird days in there that you were sad. That's cool. Okay. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 days. You only got better 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 6 of them. You only got better about a third of the time because you weren't managing your mood. There's an old theater saying, and I'm not a theater guy, I've just heard it in the past. It goes something like this: leave your day at the door. And it's an old school saying, so it's really something like leave your day at the door with your hat. Or when you take your hat off, so leave your day at the door. It's something flowery like that. But basically what people in theater are saying is, look, you have to come up on stage and project all these emotions. If your character's supposed to be happy, you got to be happy. If your character's supposed to be sad, you have to be sad. If your character is vindictive, you got to go be vindictive. Theater people can't afford to be controlled by their mood because they have to express mood. And so it is out in the open, it is spoken about regularly in theater, in drama. Well, you know what? We don't talk about it all the time in sports because we got bigger things to do, and you're supposed to be able to manage this. And quite frankly, people, coaches that might call you a little bit of a crybaby, or that you're mopey, well, they get picked on by the parents. Or that kid disappears for a week into extra mopey mood because somebody thinks they're mopey. And that's not fair, I'm not mopey. Have you met this kid? I have way too many times in my life. In other words, just by addressing it as a coach, you get more of the bad thing you were already trying to deal with just by bringing it up. That's the worst. And so a lot of times we just don't talk about it. We kind of hope it goes away. I want you to be able to manage your mood. I want you to be able to say, I'm not okay with only 6 of the 15 days that I practiced me getting better noticeably. I am going to take care of these worst days, and I'm going to put them over here. Where's my blue pen? I'm going to put them over here in the days, and all those days I walked in with nothing special happening. So these came and they moved over here. And I'm going to move all 6 of those days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I got better 12 of the days of my 15 that I practiced. That's awesome. What if you could be a superhero and really get your stuff together and move one of these days all the way over? Now you're getting better 13. That is almost every day. And you know what? You are allowed to be human. You are allowed to have bad days where you don't go to practice and get considerably better. But every day you go to practice and move backwards, it takes 2 days to make up. Like, think about it. If you were here, we want you to go forward. But you go backward, that's a day. Now it takes a day just to get back where you were, and then a third day to finally get better. Going backwards is relatively catastrophic for people that are in a race to improve, which you are. If nobody's brought it up to you yet, let me be the first. Just because you don't see your opponents every day in practice doesn't mean they're not practicing and desperately trying to get better as you should be. I don't know where you started the year off. Were you a little better? Were you a little worse? I don't know. I just know that we all care about the end of the year. The big day. Whatever version of the big day is for you. Whether you only care about one team, you guys aren't that good, but if you beat this one team, your season's great. Or if you're that team that's like, we have been knocking on the door, we really need to win league this year. Or if you're that team that's perennially great and you aren't satisfied with anything less than a regional championship or maybe a state championship. Whatever your version of a big day is, what if you have a sad day on a big day and you haven't learned to manage your mood? The whim of the day at school that you had controls your chances of winning on that big day if you don't learn to manage your moods. What if you have a mad day on a big day? Well, I'll just make sure I don't have a mad day. Okay, kid that gets fired up at refs' calls all the time. What if you do get past your day at school? What if you haven't learned to manage your control of your emotions in a game? What if you're that kid that gets all fired up that the ref's making bad calls and then you get distracted? Now you're having a mad day on a big day. the whim of the ref? You're going to let the whims of the ref control you? No way, man. Learn to manage your moods. How about this one? What if you see a great team on a big day? Which, by the way, is the definition of a big day. It is a great team for you. That's what makes it a big day. You can't afford to be intimidated. You can't. You have to choose, I'm going to be good every day. So if you see a great team, that's the definition of a big day. On a big day, then you should choose to improve. You should choose better. Now, you guys, I have a little bit of tough love for you here. What do we call somebody that cries too much? We call them a crybaby. You know why we call them a crybaby? Because babies can't control their emotions. We don't expect it out of them, right? So somebody that gets older that just cries too much, you might not call it to their face, but behind their back we go, God, what a crybaby. They're always crying. Well, that's just an extreme example of somebody that can't manage their mood. You guys probably aren't that catastrophic, but what I was just talking about was maturity. We don't expect much from babies. We do expect something of being able to control and regulate your emotions from young adults like yourself. But you're in a race. So if other people have taken care of this, they've taken care of how they walk in the door, they've taken these two and they just make it this. Because you know what? Some people don't have to try. Some people are so obsessed with their sport, every day they get to practice or play their sport is a good day. Like school's irrelevant to these people. You have to deal with freaks. You have to deal with freaks of nature, super tall, super fast, super strong people. You have to deal with freaks of skill, coaches, sons and daughters, people that live their sport since the time they could walk. You have to deal with freaks of maturity, freaks of mentally toughness. So if you can't manage these things, you're just levels of maturity behind some of the people that totally have this under control. If they have a big day, the worst they're going to do is neutral. Like if they had a horrible day, they have managed it to minimum neutral, if not working on a happy good day. How about this one, you guys? Forget this sad, mad, intimidated. What if you're that kid whose outcomes in the match are controlled by the first few things that happen to you? First few things go wrong. Now you're sad and you can't shake it for the whole match. First few things are and so that's how you feel like that's going to be your day. Or you get lucky and the first few things go well and suddenly you have an amazing match. Now I'll tell you, there is something to be said for that. If the first few things go well, you go feel as confident as you want and crush it. But you can't let the outcome of the first few passes or sets or hits determine your day. That is part of mood management. This is a huge, broad, and vast category that you need to be good at or someone else will. And so if you need help with these things, this is what I do. These are the programs that I offer. By getting into this program right here, you have access to the store, the Meant to Achieve store, where you can pick and choose. Do you want to work on leadership? Go get it. You want to work on peak performance or dealing with choking? Go get it. You want to deal with fast results and getting off the bubble that you are, like if you're on the bench, you need to get, go deal with that. I deal with all those boxes to check of an athlete. This is a huge box to check. You may not realize that little things at school or little things in a game are controlling your outcomes. And I want you to start to deal with that because I want you to be amazing. I want you to be as good as you should be because you make great choices and see the world in the right way. So, mood management. Start to be aware how much of this walking in the door controls your outcomes. Can you start to get rid of this one and get to here? And get rid of this one when you have one of those days and get to here? How often can you push yourself to walking in the door like, hey man, I'm happy to be here. This is great. I have goals to work on in this practice. I'm glad practice is here. Let's go, coach. Let's go, teammates who need a little help moving up a level. Like, can you do this? Yes. Should you do this? Yes. Will you do this? Well, again, in the past, I don't know how mature you have been, But you need to learn to play the long game. You need to be improving every day. You need to not let what's happening now affect you often enough that it will affect you then during that big day. The long game says I get better every single day. I get better a little bit, I get better a lot, but I get better every day. I don't go backwards. The long game is directly attached to your goals for those big days. And you cannot afford to be taking steps back when other kids are not doing that. Other kids are just being, I'm going to say it, more mature than you. Just like a baby can't handle what they're doing, and you get older, you learn to deal with it. Well, wherever you are now, you have work to do. Nobody is perfect. I have work to do. Your mom and dad have work to do. You're not lame. You're just human. That's your problem. It's always your problem. You're human. So wherever you are now, I want you to get better. I want you to get better at managing this, have less of these days, and less of these days, and have days that are like this. And then when you're actually walking in the door happy, go be a miracle worker. I would love to hear that story. Write me an email if you have one of those days. But take this information, look at yourself. You might have to ask a few people what they think. Adults are pretty good, so are teammates. And figure out what it is you need to do to have more good days through managing your mood. Get out there, and good luck to you.